Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Tigo,
My name's Sean.
and we are at episode 8.5? 8.5,
Four.
yes. No, it's 8.5.
5.
8.5, the EA conference.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I don't know why you always go to that. Like, they do other stuff. I think this is kind of the first big, major company that we've done a press conference, recap for. I don't think Bethesda or Ubisoft falls in that category.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't feel like Square Enix falls in that category.
Maybe, kind of.
I don't think so.
Not really.
Dude, Bethesda and Ubisoft are way bigger companies than Square Enix.
Square Enix. It's in the games.
So, yeah, EA had a lot of
EA is a
different
pretty old
things.
company.
Had a lot of different things. A lot of people don't know this, but EA actually has an office here in Orlando, and I visited it. It's pretty cool. It's where they make Madden. It's a pretty cool endeavor.
I'm kind of sad they don't have any Tony Hawk's coming out. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
That's Activision,
Is it Activision? Oh,
Yeah.
it is Activision.
and technically it was Neversoft. So,
Huh?
Technically it was Neversoft. Why are you bringing up Tony Hawk? Let's
Because
actually
it's
go
toy.
into the thing. Let's actually get into the conference. Battlefield 5, we got the new
DLC?
DLC announcement for it. All we know that it's coming out in October. We
And
don't
what
have
is
an
it
actual
called? Oh,
date.
it's just like a map, right?
No, it's an actual content update. So I think it's supposed to be map, like game modes, guns. I think it's supposed to be a whole thing, but it's like a fake update, kind of like a fake
A soft update?
DLC, kind of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of like how I felt what the season pass for Apex was. It was like a soft update. It wasn't like all
just
you
like,
got was
oh, guys,
Octane.
it's a new gun.
Like all we got was Octane and like a new gun that wasn't good. Like that's it. That's all we got. And
So nothing major, nothing that affects the entire universe.
nothing. That's my thing. Is nothing that brings you back to Battlefield. A lot of people bought Battlefield and then left, and there's a whole debate on Battlefield. And people want Battlefield to go back to the style of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 2. I agree with that sentiment. I think if the game goes back to that, the competitive scene will grow. Because Battlefield 5 is trying to come into this esports world. But when your focus is 100% on having these huge battles, right, 100 v 100, and you're not putting enough time and effort into building a solid competitive platform, you can't have 100 v 100 and be competitive there. Like, that doesn't work. No team is going to employ 100 players. Like, it's just not going to happen. So for Battlefield, they used to have Rush. It's called CQB Rush. And it was their game mode, and you used to play like 4-on-4, or I think it was 5-on-5. And it was incredible. I loved that game mode.
So
And then they just kind of got rid of it.
With like kind of like a SWAT kind of thing?
No, it wasn't SWAT. It's kind of like domination, but the points grow as you go. So you have to go capture a point. If you capture it,
So like territories.
yeah, but it's not territories. Let me explain. Let me finish explaining, and then you can make your assumption.
I like making my assumption while you talk.
You go and you take a territory. If you take that territory, the team that was defending that territory then retreats to a secondary backup territory to cover. Then they also Rush was just domination. 3 flags, you go capture the flags.
Yeah.
No, they had a game mode that could do that. I just misplaced it. It was just domination. Rush was just domination. You would rush, capture the objectives, and the whole thing was points-based. I think they also had spawn-based, so you had a certain number of lives, so you couldn't just go out and die. You had to kind of be strategic about it. And so my thing is we've had this conversation before, and in a world where esports kind of make or break your game, or if you're not going to be an esports title, you've got to make sure that you're super compelling as a game on its own. It's hard to stay relevant in a gaming world, and I think that's what Battlefield is running into, is you've got to pick a direction, man. You've either got to be super competitive, and you've got to go with what the trends are. Yeah, the thing is like they don't have an identity. They don't have an identity anymore. They used to be the anti-Call of Duty. It was a first-person shooter, but it was a realistic first-person shooter. You had health, and you had different classes and different guns and different objectives and different things, and you had realistic vehicles and realistic soft destruction, and it was semi-realism in a first-person shooter, and it was different. Like when you shot people, you kind of felt the bullets hitting them. Unlike in Call of Duty, you don't have that feeling when bullets, like you don't have the impact feeling. You just feel like you're shooting laser beams, kind of,
Yeah.
and your laser beams are hitting. Like in Black Ops, you didn't have that. You felt when you not Black Ops in Battlefield, you have this sensation of like, oh, my shots are actually penetrating and they're actually hitting something. They're doing like physical damage. And that was cool, and that was what I think was what it had, and now Battlefield just doesn't have an identity. And I think this update just feeds into that narrative of, man, you either go full-on old-school Battlefield Bad Company, and all of that, or you go and you say, hey, we're just going to be Battlefield 3, because that's where your thing is. Right now, what you're doing isn't compelling and isn't interesting anymore. And the rumor is that the next game for Battlefield is Battlefield Bad Company 3, which I think a lot of people are interested in. And I think it'll bring a lot of old school Battlefield fans back. But I don't know, there's this. I'm concerned for the state of Battlefield. I love that IP. I love that title. And I just don't know what EA is doing with it. And I've got concerns.
I'm pretty sure that your concerns are shared among the community.
Yeah, I've watched multiple videos. This guy, I forget his name. I wish I looked it up before we started talking about this. He did a great, was like a 45-minute video where he just explained the progression of the Battlefield games and how they change in each generation and each iteration of the game, and what he believed the identity for those games was, and how they've gone from having this identity from Battlefield being, Battlefield to just becoming a nothing kind of game. And so that's the concern that I have with Battlefield is that they're just kind of becoming a nothing series, and I don't want that for Battlefield. I want Battlefield to be good. Honestly, I want Battlefield to be able to compete with Call of Duty, because if they can compete with Call of Duty, it's going to push Call of Duty to be better. I don't think there's a first-person shooter game that challenges Call of Duty in that space right now.
Yeah, I feel like Call of Duty is dominating the first-person shooter.
The first-person console shooter,
yes.
Right? And so it's just like, I don't think there's a game that's really out there that's competing with it. And Battlefield used to be that game. It used to be Battlefield versus Call of Duty, and it isn't anymore. And that's sad to see, man, because Battlefield was such a good series back in the day. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly right.
It's you kind of just hit your hope and pray that that EA can fix their stuff and that they can make it better. I think Montreal is the office that makes the Battlefield games. I think it's EA Montreal. So step your stuff up, French Canadians. Do better.
French Canadians.
Next, Anthem.
Anthem.
Anthem's more along your kind of style of gameplay.
Well, Anthem is kind of like a carbon copy of Destiny, where it goes third person rather than first person. And supposedly they're getting a DLC called Cataclysm. They
They took the name straight out of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the best DLCs for WoW. Was Cataclysm.
That's what I hear from my brother. He actually enjoys Cataclysm.
I enjoyed the crap out of it. That's the one I came back into.
Or the Lich one.
Bane of the Lich King.
Yeah, that one. Which one of those two?
He probably likes Lich King, not Cataclysm. If you like Lich King, you don't like Cataclysm.
Oh yeah, Cataclysm was where they introduced the pandas, right? Yeah, I think
no idea.
I think that's where they introduced the pandas on World of Warcraft. Yeah, I don't think he liked that one.
Probably not, because he's racist against pandas.
Yeah, those lovely pandas.
I
actually rejoined WoW because of the pandas.
Anyway. Didn't you play a panda shaman?
Yeah, I love pandas. Yeah. Pandas are my favorite animal. Anyways, back to where we were talking about Anthem.
So you since you're into those kinds of games, right? Okay, maybe not Anthem. Do you think Cataclysm is a big deal? Did the content? Because again, I can't really weigh in on that type of game. I watched it; it was okay, but I'm not really invested or interested in those types of games, so I couldn't make a educated, formulated opinion. As someone who likes those games actively, like the Destinies and the Anthem, you would play Anthem if it was first person.
Yeah, probably.
So is Cataclysm enough of an event to bring players back to the game and get new players, or is it just one of those nothing updates like the Battlefield 5 one was?
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those nothing updates. I don't think it'll It might bring some people because DLCs always bring
Yeah,
people
DLC
back.
always brings people back,
But
but
I don't feel like it's
it
gonna.
won't keep those
It won't
players.
keep people. It will just like keep them entertained for a while. Then that's it.
And then people will go back to playing whatever it is that they're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, interesting. I still can't believe that this game got DLC, that this game still exists. Sims 4.
Yeah, because Sims 4. No, Sims is like a huge like
No, yeah.
market.
We've had this conversation where like Sims is one of the most popular. Like Madi plays Sims on her phone. She has 0 games on her phone. The only game that she plays on her phone, and she does it every single day to make sure she gets all of her tokens or whatever it is Sims. She loves it. And I don't
have
get
no
it.
idea. I remember Marianne playing it when she was younger. She had like the Sims 2 or something on the computer.
Dude,
the
I don't get
entire
it.
disc. It's like, what's so entertaining about Sims?
Like I don't get it. It does not make like I can't comprehend.
I don't understand why you want to
Where's
simulate.
the entertainment?
Why would you want to simulate real life?
No. Why would you want to simulate essentially a bootleg version of real life? It's not even like a good attempt at simulating. Like it's just like,
I don't remember anything. I don't pay attention to Sims, but I do remember back then. Like if you put a table in front of a door, I mean a chair in front of a door, they wouldn't be able to get out. They'll essentially starve to death if you just leave that chair there. And I'm like,
God, the mechanics for Sims, like I don't understand the like. If you enjoy it, great, enjoy Sims. Don't let our misunderstanding like
of your
I
enjoyment.
I like City Skylines. I like City Skylines where it's essentially a game where you just build roads and that's
Roller
it.
Coaster Typhoon.
No, I never got the Tycoon games. I have played Game Developer Tycoon, and I did kind of enjoy that because you have to put like you create games, but you have to put like different things into the games, and you come up with different types of games, and then you have to sell it, and your success as a company is kind of judged on that. I thought that was pretty fun and entertaining, but other than that, like I was super.
It's like
I played it once.
It's like people who play games play it to escape real life. Why would you play a game that simulates real life?
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. Well, no, it makes sense on that perspective, right? Because if you're trying to escape real life, and you can have a Sims life that's better than real life,
You
I
can be
get
more
that.
Successful.
Like I get that. I get the appeal. It just doesn't make sense in my brain hole.
Yeah.
I just don't
Or
get
my
it.
interest.
Yeah, it just doesn't pique my interest. But 2 updates. We're getting the Realm of Magic. We're also getting Island Living.
Essentially, island living is like you live in an island.
Yeah, it's
you
just
get
like
customized islands.
Yeah, like
And then Rome, I assume it's in Rome.
no realm
So
of magic. So I'm pretty sure
so,
it's just wizards
fantasy,
and
it's like I
yeah,
guess
so-
like you live in a fantasy world.
I couldn't sit through the thing. I opened it and I immediately clicked off it. I was like, I don't need information on this.
Paradise of whatever island.
Yeah, man. Wasn't a huge fan of it. It's one of those things
Just thinking
that
about it makes me a little bit tired.
yeah, honestly. I'm gonna let you get into it because you kind of dove deep into like the Rust Heart, Lost in Random, and the Haze Light. Like, what was that announcement?
Well, they really didn't announce any games. I felt like it was just like a company, like a branch of EA, were announcing it. They were like what they were developing, and they were developing 3 games where they like teased like footage, like 5-second footages of each of these 3 games. And I feel like Hazel Light was the one that they teased the most, which was essentially inspired by a work of art, where they were saying like, what if we could get this work of art as a game? And I thought the graphics of the game was very compelling. It was like
Okay.
one of those like really like dark artistic kind of like
Like Limbo?
kind of.
I love Limbo. Limbo's one of the best indie games ever.
It was dark, kind of like sketchy, I was like,
Mhm.
it looks nice. It's like I'll play that.
Yeah.
So that's like.
So
yeah.
would you consider them AAA titles or were they indie games? What kind of game would you consider them?
I would consider
Because it
them-
was really short. I couldn't make
I would consider them like indie games.
in all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, because Rust Tower was like a 5-second trailer.
Yeah, they were really short,
where
and I know
it's
that you went into looking into like the company and stuff. So
it was like essentially what's it called it was just like a mechanical mecha with a kid on top of it or something like that.
yeah.
And it's like
So
yeah,
I discovered right. Hazelight is actually the name of the company.
is it the name of the company?
Yeah, that game that you're talking about doesn't have a title yet.
Yeah, Untitled. Yes.
Yes, it's the unnamed title.
Yeah, Hazelight was the name of the company. Yes.
Yeah, Hazelight's the name of the
Now,
company.
now I'm connecting the dots.
Yeah. Um. Again, kind of interesting there. It's interesting to see. It's interesting because I never thought of EA being big enough of a company. I like when I think of companies that kind of own other companies, I think of like Activision, right?
Or
Activision,
Microsoft or
yeah,
Sony,
or Sony, and I never thought of EA
Nintendo.
being no. Nintendo doesn't own other companies. Nintendo just does everything in
Nintendo
house.
owns Nintendo.
Yeah, they just do everything in house. But my thing was like Microsoft used Bungie to make Halos, the Halos, right? Now they use 343 Industries. Sony uses Square Enix, and I forget the company that makes the Unchartable games, but they make those games, and like they don't own that company, but that's like that's the only games that they make for them. And Activision, like Infinity Ward and Treyarch and Raven and Sledgehammer, like they don't make other games. They just make Call of Duty. And so my thought has always been, hey, I never thought of EA as being a company big enough to have these little sub companies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never thought of them as big enough to have these sub companies. And so that's was surprising to me. When that's what got me, that's why I didn't even pay attention to what was happening, is like what is going on here? Like this is a company that EA owns and that they, whatever, I don't know. It just kind of got me there. So, moving on to the EA offices overseas to I think they're in London is where these EA offices
London.
for FIFA 20.
FIFA 20 actually looks pretty like. I had to give for FIFA like trailer. They always are compelling.
Dude, they're always done very very cinematically. They're done very very well,
It's
and they
like-
always show like the actiony parts of football.
If the one it's like you know me, I'm not really into the sports games. I rather
That's why I'm letting
play-
you talk first.
I rather play the sports than actually play the games of the sports.
And I think that's not because of the fact that you don't enjoy the games. I think it's the fact that you're not a fan of those sports. One of the things that's appealing about FIFA is playing as some of your favorite athletes.
Yeah, I can
And
never
your
get into,
superstars.
Yeah, the thing I can never get into behind that because like I want to just do it in person rather than watching it TV or
Yeah,
play
but
as a video game.
but that's the thing.
Yeah,
I think
th-
that's
th-
why
that-
those
that's probably
games don't
why I
appeal to you.
Yeah, that's probably why I don't play the
Like
game.
I buy the every year's NHL game because I think it's really cool to create these stupidly overpowered teams with players
That would
from
never
all
happen in
over.
reality.
Yeah, and it's because I'm
Yeah,
so
I c-
invested into these athletes. Like I follow their careers on the daily. That that's what I care about is that aspect of it.
Yeah, I can never actually get into it because I can never find it appealing. Because I was never into like actually getting into the depth of the characters. But that's just me.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is like, great. I think the thing with FIFA and the sports game is that they've gotten a bad rap of being the same over and over again.
Yeah, it's just a repetitive thing with new characters.
Yeah, and the thing is that that's not what they are. They're not that. A lot of people need to understand that there's a lot of little intricacies that the people who actually play these sports games that enjoy it, that does change. So for FIFA, what that was this year they're bringing back FIFA Street.
Yeah, and I do remember FIFA 3 coming out.
Dude, that was the best. I
Yeah,
love
FIFA 3
Street.
probably looked the most appealing to me.
Yeah, and so they're bringing that aspect of a game back into FIFA, in FIFA 20. So that's one of those things that's the new thing for this year, is that they're bringing that back.
And I also noticed that in the FIFA 20 trailer, there was indoor soccer. Was that always the thing?
So no, that's coming in with
The 3.
the Street. That's what it is. So with FIFA Street, I don't know if you remember it, but back in the day, FIFA Street, what it used to be was you had different courts and different places all around the world that you would travel to play FIFA Street. And so That's what they're doing here, is just taking you to different places around the world, because street soccer is becoming a big deal.
Is it becoming
Around, yeah, they have competitions and tournaments all around the world. Now, it's not as aggressive as it is in the video games. Like, it's not like they still have rules and there's no slide tackling and things like that. But that being said, it's still becoming very popular. They're doing tournaments all around. Like, Neymar hosts a tournament around the world, and if you get to like win in your respective countries, you get to travel to Brazil and play against him and his FIFA Street team.
Oh, that'll be really like
yeah, they do those things, and like
motivational to the people actually playing it.
yeah, exactly. So it's really cool that they're doing this. I hope what they do is they actually, in the FIFA Street, is they recognize some real street tournaments that are from around the world, just to kind of help get that publicity and that exposure out.
And I
for
feel
those
like they will
companies.
actually do that.
I don't think so. EA's super
Stingy?
finicky about like getting paid
Yeah.
on everything. So unless a company pays them to, like, I don't think they would give free publicity, and that's fine. I get it. I just wish they would, just for this one scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Grow the sport a little bit more, get people more fans, because if you do that,
I feel like,
you help grow the sport and get more fans.
I feel like if they do that, it just like
it ultimately benefits them.
ultimately benefits it, branches out their possibility of games.
Absolutely.
I think I'll definitely do it if I was in their marketing.
I totally agree, and that should happen. Ultimately, FIFA 20, just another FIFA game. It's exciting. It's exciting. I like it. I'm
Since we're on
excited.
the subject of soccer, I miss those games, like those soccer games, of like Mega Man Soccer and stuff
Or
like
like
that.
Super Mario Soccer. and
Exactly, like where you like have
Super
like
Mario Soccer was the best one.
where you have like super abilities or like gimmickies with every character.
I remember Mario's soccer ability was he would kick the ball, but he would turn it into a fire flower. So it would turn into like this meteor that no one could touch because they would get burned. It was great.
And then there was in Mega Man Soccer there was
There was a Mega Man Soccer?
yeah, it's
That's
like
a real
for the
thing?
Nintendo, the NES.
Okay, not the SNES, the NES.
Yeah, I believe it was the NES.
Not the Super Nintendo, but the Nintendo.
The Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. dude.
Where essentially there's this scissor kind of cat. I don't know what his name is because
I don't remember anything from Mega Man, man.
Well, he had like
I remember
little scissor-
Zero, and that's it.
I had like a scissor head or something like that.
Mm.
And essentially his power was he cuts anyone that goes in contact with the ball. That essentially just use that power, spam that power to go, like just go through the goalie. It was hilarious. It was completely dumb, but it was fun.
But there's certain games like you need some of that,
Yeah,
like
the
like Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Like you need games like that to just be mindless and stupid and just entertaining and fun for no reason.
And it's great for the parents that want to get their sons or daughters excited about a certain sport or something like that, or they could just get these games like
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
an introduction
I guess it
to the
could work.
sport. Yeah.
I guess it could work. Let's talk about the other sport game that they announced, Madden 20. This one I don't think you're gonna have really any talking points on.
No talking points whatsoever. I enjoy football. I was actually considering in high school becoming joining the football team, but that's when I dropped out and ultimately didn't.
What position would you have played?
I wanted to be a running back.
I don't know what you looked like in high school to be able to say that you could be a
I
successful
wanted
running
to be
back.
a halfback, not fullback.
Yeah, it's a running back.
No, yeah, but
Yeah. No.
yeah,
Let me explain. The halfback is the running back. It's a synonym.
yeah.
They're synonyms. Fullback is the other position. You would not have been a fullback. You're not big enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So you wanted to be a running back.
Yeah, because I essentially my strength in high school was I was super fast. I was like
You
the
would have
fastest
probably been a wide receiver. Here's just me knowing you. Here's the positions that I would have put you in. Depending on your catching ability,
my catching ability is like that's why I wanted to be running
then I would have put you as a cornerback.
cornerback.
Just to be able to corner, not quarter.
yeah, that's why I said
Cornerback.
corner.
And I'm just
I
making
said-
sure for our audience, because I used to get it confused all the time. I would put you as a cornerback. Because you're tall, right? You're also long. That's the benefit. And if you have speed, the idea is you can just keep up with it and you don't have to catch. It'd be great if you caught it,
That would be great. Yes.
but you don't have to catch because
So
your job is just
essentially,
to swat it out of the air to make sure the other person doesn't catch it.
Yeah.
I think you would have been successful at that.
Yeah, but I'll stay in for the running back.
The other thing, though, but like with your size, like if you would have been able to, I don't know if you would have been this dedicated in high school, but if you would have been able to put on like 50 or 60 pounds, like of just muscle, or you could get some fat there, but like some muscle.
Yeah.
I would put you as a middle linebacker or an outside linebacker. You've got the size. You don't have the shape for it yet, but that's what I'm saying. You put on some muscle, you could get that done.
Yeah. If I was actually committed, like my brother, who like you have to see my brother back in the day.
I've seen pictures. He was
He
pretty
was
buff.
like super skinny. He was like skinnier than me,
Yeah.
and he like got so big after like dedicating like his time.
Dude, I
Like
remember
if I
because
spent
when
that much time in the gym dedicating myself, then I went to apply or like
play or whatever.
play and
Yeah, you would have been a
whatever.
middle linebacker.
Yeah,
You
that
could have probably
I
been a
could
running back at that point. My problem with putting you as a running back is running backs tend to be smaller and wider. Well, nowadays, I don't remember back then, but they tend to be smaller and wider because the running back position isn't necessarily about speed. It's about power. It's about being able to explode through the hole, right? Because your offensive line will build a hole, and it's the ability to be able to explode through that hole. Or where your speed would come in handy is if you're trying to get to the outside, right? Because then your whole offensive line starts running with you to try to get you to the outside and get those blocks for you. So that's you maybe would have been like a running on the outside. You would have been a first and
that's
second down
essentially
kind
what
of
I
run.
did. Like,
You would have been a first and second down kind of running back, but I'm not putting you in at like my third down.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
it's essentially like when I was playing football in high school as a fun sport, just like after class or before like school began, we got together, we played some football. I essentially play like the running back position where like they hand me the ball, I run away towards the field goal,
And
end goal,
end zone.
end zone. Oh my god, field
Man,
goal is when you kick it. Yeah,
yes.
I
That
know
is
my
when you
sports
kick
guys. I'm just bad with words. All right.
So, going back to Madden, I'm interested. So Madden has like this curse
Yes.
where the cover athlete, whatever team he's on, like they don't do well. So they put in third year Patrick Mahomes on the cover, and he just came off of one of the best seasons as a quarterback.
Oh, that sucks.
And the thing is I'm worried about that because I love Patrick Mahomes.
So-
I love his
so-
story.
And
He sounds like Kermit the Frog when he talks.
No, the thing about serious athletes and football players and soccer players and whatnot are very superstitious.
Dude, especially in hockey. They didn't announce NHL 20, but hockey is one of the most superstitious sports on the planet. Did you know that Sidney Crosby, he's one of the centers for the Pittsburgh Penguins, he will not call or talk to his mother or his sister on game days?
Yeah, I've heard something about that. Yeah, people do that.
Because, and here's the story why, is every time he's gotten injured, I think major injuries 3 times in his career, every single time he got those injuries, he's talked to or met up with his mother or sister. So he won't talk to them. Also, hockey players, they will not go in the same room or take a picture with the Stanley Cup if they haven't won it. They're super superstitious about that stuff too.
Yeah.
Like another one, I love this story. He does the same routine every game. He goes to sleep because athletes take a nap before their sport, obviously, to be rested so they don't get tired during the game. He does the same. He puts on the same like suit, goes to sleep at the same time, wakes up at the same time, eats the same meal every single game. It never changes because of superstition. He tapes his stick the same way every single game. Dude, they're super superstitious. I love it.
Yeah, the superstitions are really interesting. Like there are some that like don't wear the same underwear, don't wash it or anything, and it's like
Or the base,
that
that one's insane. Those are insane. But like the baseball ones are just as insane. I read a story about like this batter who got upset with an umpire because he wanted to get rid of his bat because in baseball, when you start hitting, the bat where you hit normally starts to become flat.
Yeah.
And that's illegal in the sport, right? So you have to replace your bat because they're made out of wood.
Yeah.
It becomes flat. But this guy was on a hitting streak. I think it was like on an 8, 9. I think it was like I was in the double digits. I think it was like a 15 or 16 game hitting streak, and that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because you normally like on the reel, you might go a couple of games without actually hitting the ball, or hitting the ball and just getting out, right? But if you can get on a hitting streak, it's a big deal. So he got on a hitting streak, and he went to do his warm-ups out in the field, and when he came back, he couldn't find his bat, and he found out that the umpire went into his bag to check his bats, pulled his bat out and trashed it and said that he couldn't use it for the game, and he flipped out and he didn't keep the streak alive because he let the superstition get to him.
Yeah, and I feel like superstitions are like a huge factor where like
It's a big deal in sports.
it's like psychology kind of like that.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
It gets really under their skin.
It's like a placebo, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a reverse placebo.
It's like it's like they know it's how unrealistic it is, but it just gets
But I'm
under
this
their skin.
but I'm the same way. Like when I used to play soccer, I used to have to put everything on in a certain order, right? Like I had to do right foot, left foot in that order. I do everything on my right foot first. I would put my shin strap on, my shin guards, my first pair of socks, my game socks. I would tape everything up. I would do kind of my thing, and then I would go to my left foot. And I would do that. Or when I played paintball, I would do the same thing. I would do my whole right side first. Right knee pad, right elbow pad, anything else, right glove, and then I would go to the left side. I would go left knee pad, left elbow pad, left glove, then I put my pants on. I always put my pants on first because I like to tuck in my undershirt, and then I would put my jersey on. And I was very particular about the things in the order that I did them in. How I would set up my gun, it was always hopper, barrel, tank in that order. Super, like I get it. I do that stuff. I even do that stuff now. Like when I play Call of Duty, I have to do certain things just to be able to play
In the right mentality.
yeah, just to get into the right mentality because like I've got to put my hat in in a specific way. I've got to put my headset on in a specific way. I've got to do a certain warm up with my fingers to get it going in the right way. And if I don't do it, I feel off. And so
And that brings us back to the Madden 20.
I love Madden's new feature though.
It's like how does the superstition affect the player himself?
Dude, it's a curse. Like people are seriously like concerned because like everyone's like, "Oh my god, Patrick Mahomes, he's like the title character." And like a lot of the times these players get injured and everyone's like, "We don't want Patrick Mahomes to get injured because we love Patty Mahomes and he sounds like Kermit the Frog and last year was his second year, but it was his first year playing and it was this incredible story and people are concerned." I'm one of those people. I don't want him to get hurt. I don't want anything bad to happen to him. I love Patty Mahomes.
And what if like nothing happens to him? Do you think the superstition will break? Or
Absolutely not. It's the outlier.
It's an outlier. Yes.
Yeah, it's the outlier. That's what
probably
everybody would say.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's not the rule. It's not the standard.
It's
It's got to happen. It's the exception. It's got to happen at least 3 times in a row, bro. Can't happen. We got whoever's next year's title cover. We got C-Man. Can't. Patty Mahomes. It's whatever. But I do like, speaking of Patrick Mahomes, they've added a new feature. They call it the Superstar X trait, which I think is really, really cool. So one of the things about Patrick Mahomes, right, is that he used to play baseball in college.
Yeah.
He got drafted for football and for baseball. And he chose to play football. And one of the things that everyone says is that has a cannon of an arm. Easily, he can throw like 100. He can throw the whole field. Like, just easily. Like, he's got...
That is ridiculous.
Like when people normally say, "Hey man, that guy's got a cannon for an arm," they're just saying, "Hey, they can throw." No. This guy can throw it accurately, far and fast, all like just rips balls. And the thing is he doesn't have like this crazy buildup. He's just got a regular throwing motion, and he just rips it. I don't know how his shoulders hold up to it. Like, I don't know how he hasn't ripped all of the tendons in his shoulders. I'm going to knock on all of the wood because I want him to play in the league for a long time, but I don't know how his shoulder can keep up with that.
I can imagine. It's like just doing like a normal throw for me is horrible.
But like,
and
dude,
my
he's
throws are horrible.
He's a freak of nature. I love Patrick Mahomes. But they've added this X trait. So now superstar athletes have a special trait about them. So Patrick Mahomes has the bazooka. Like, that's his trait because he has a cannon of an arm. Like Juju Smith-Schuster has one where he can catch passes while being double covered. He's really good at catching that stuff. They've added I forget his name. The Los Angeles Ram guy. The rush, whatever. Number 99 of the Rams, he's a really good quarterback rusher. So his trait is he gets pressure on the quarterback easier. So I think that's a really, really cool feature because now you have a reason to kind of have these superstars on your team because each one of them, before you could have like a superstar in real life, like there's some, like, because every athlete has an X factor to them, right?
Yeah.
And you can't just get or describe that X factor when you're looking at sports in a slider. Because you can put another athlete with those same sliders and now they're just as good, when in reality, someone might be just as fast as whoever,
Yeah.
but they don't have that X factor when it comes to whatever it is that they're doing, right? And I think that's a really, really cool thing that they've added, because now you have these superstars who have these X factors on them, and they can be like, oh, here's their game changing thing, and I think that's really cool.
It
I
is.
think it's really exciting, and that's the new feature for Madden 20. All right, moving on to the two big things.
Big things.
New IPs. We talked about the two new IPs in FIFA and Madden, but they're just repeats. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We got another trailer. We already knew about it,
Yes, we did know about it.
right?
Yes.
We knew about the fact that it was coming November.
And,
And we've talked about it already.
We had some gameplay. Some gameplay reveal as well.
Yes, yeah. It looked incredible. Again,
did.
it looked like a really, really good and interesting new Jedi Star Wars game. Now, take that opinion with a grain of salt, because I love Star
He's
Wars.
very jaded about
and-
Star Wars as I am jaded about Will Smith.
I have a very, very hard time being critical when it comes to Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Like, I can say, the new Battlefront games weren't very good, but I still enjoy the crap out of them because I love playing as stormtroopers and as clones and things like that. So it's very hard for me to be objective, but I think it was good. I think it was good, man. I thought it looked good.
It looked good, but I feel like there were some elements which you could have improved.
Like what?
Such like in the gameplay I saw where like he like throws down a pillar and then lands like correctly on the ledge, which makes a perfect bridge for him to walk through.
Well, but that's just not having a correct understanding of the Force and Star Wars, right? He didn't just blast the pillar and it happened to fall there. With the Force, you blast the pillar and you guide it to where you want it to
No,
go.
it literally just fell.
Well, yes, but that's the thing. It's just the Force. He just uses it, and it does kind of what he wants it to do because he did it in such a way that it reacts how he wants it to. In the same way, like, you don't have to, like, in Star Wars, like, when you pick up, like, something and you throw it, you don't have to guide where it's going. If you throw it with the Force in a correct way, it'll go where you want it to go.
And that throwing
right?
motion, I thought was actually pretty interesting. Where like they show like a gameplay scene where he throws his lightsaber and acts like a frisbee, where like attacks the thing and it just comes right back to him.
Yeah, that's
that's pretty dope.
That's an old mechanic. Like, a lot of that's been in Star Wars a lot. It's always been a Darth Vader trait, because Darth Vader isn't very fast and isn't very mobile.
Yeah.
So if people are trying to like run away from him or he's trying to distance himself, he does that. He like throws the lightsaber and then it spins and then it comes back. I think that's a great mechanic in that game. They've even made villains in the game. There's a character, not in the game, but in the universe. Her name is Darth Treya, that she doesn't even hold her lightsabers. She has 3 purple lightsabers.
That's awesome.
She doesn't even hold them. They just float next to her, and she just uses the Force to fight for her. It's incredible.
Is that actually a canon character?
Yeah, that's a canon character. We
That's
might
pretty-
see
that-
her.
that's pretty
We
bad.
might see her in one of the BA.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't want to
yeah.
say the A word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Don't say bad.
That A.
We might see it in the TV series that the Game of Thrones guys are making, because they're going the Old Republic. No, they're doing the Mandalorian. No, they're doing the Old Republic.
A Mandalorian. It's a
They're-
Mandalorian.
Are they doing the Mandalorian?
It's a Mandalorian. Isn't there only one Star Wars show?
No, they're doing 2 shows. The Game of Thrones guys are doing one, and then
The only one I know about is the Mandalorian.
And they might be doing. I think they might be doing the Mandalorian then. I might be wrong.
Maybe that, I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything about
I'm
it.
wrong. What they're doing with the Old Republic is the new trilogy. They're doing a new trilogy that's in the Old Republic, and
Right.
that's. I don't remember who the creative director for that is, but that's where I'm getting confused. Yeah, and I got excited. I'm really excited. I expect that for my birthday. My birthday is November 3rd. I want Star Wars. You can already pre-order it for me. I'll take it on any of the consoles: PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4. Does not matter. I'll play it on whatever. So that's what I want for my birthday. And then last but not least, Apex.
Apex Legends.
They
for
released their content
For
update.
those who listen to our older podcasts, know that we have negative thoughts about Apex Legends.
No. We think the game is fun, but it got stale too quickly because there was no incentive to keep playing the game.
Yes, it was essentially the same thing over and over. But this new DLC they just dropped was pretty exciting.
Okay, are you ready for the revelation? If you go back a couple of podcasts, we talked about what we thought, or at least we kind of discussed what we thought would be good additions
To
to Apex Legend. What should Apex Legends be doing to improve themselves? So one of the things that we mentioned was new weapons. So let's tackle it as stuff that we said. We said we wanted new weapons, and we said we wanted new
Legends.
hop ups,
Pop-ups, yeah.
like the little square pieces. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, what are we getting in this new update? New weapons and new hop ups for weapons that before didn't have hop ups. That's exciting. I have to go find this new weapon.
It kind of changes the meta of the guns. They might actually make a crappy gun like the P2020, which is something pretty nice.
It'll never be.
Hopefully, the P2020 will actually be nice sometime.
So, where can we get excited, right? Just like you said, it changes the meta of the game. Some old guns can be good, and you've got to now test all of these new guns out. And that's a reason to keep playing Apex, because I was playing Apex the other day, and I went the whole game looking for an R301. Could not find an R301. Played the whole game with the wing.
Yeah, and they also changed that like a few updates ago. They made the responsive guns more rare.
Yeah.
And some more common. And they actually like, because back then it's like it was easy to find any gun you wanted.
Yeah, literally, you could find any gun that you wanted.
Rare super epic gun was like supposedly really hard to find, but it had like the same odds as the other guns. It's what I felt.
Yeah. So they did that. And then we said you have to give us new champions, new legends, right? And they did that with Watson.
Yes, with Watson.
I love the lore behind Watson. I think they did such a good job there.
Yes, that's what another thing they're doing. They're introducing lore.
Yeah, they're trying to build the story of Apex.
Like Apex originally didn't have a story. They had character
like it did.
stories,
Yeah, it was like
but
very
they didn't
very
really
basic.
have any lore behind Apex Legend and why it was a thing.
Like, what's the arena and what's
Exactly.
this? Why are they doing
and then
this?
Now with the introduction of Watson, we learned that her grandfather,
her dad,
her
and her dad
created the ring.
Yeah, they invented the arena
and
the
all
cloud
the
or whatever it is.
And essentially, that's where Watson's power comes from. She's the support character, totally down my alley since I love playing support characters.
I think it was such a good job. I think she's designed super well. I think that the way she does her things is super, like it's super like feminine and like quiet and like I agree. It's kind of like, not that this is gonna sound horrible. It is right up your alley, the type of character she is.
Yeah.
Not like the effeminate parts and the things like that.
Yeah, obviously I love playing feminine characters. Only feminine characters, 24/7.
But I think they did a really good job with like her character design and the lore and the story. You get excited. Watson, not a character I would play, but I get how she's exciting and how she comes into play in the game. Right? I think it's pretty cool.
I feel like the addition of Watson makes Gibraltar the most useless character in the game even more useless than he is.
No, you partner Gibraltar with her, you have an unstoppable force of just defense.
Yeah, because I feel like Gibraltar. Yeah, like in the stream when they revealed the gameplay of Watson, one of the commenter
comments.
No, not commenter. The announcers. Commentators. Was mentioning Gibraltar, and no one in the audience cheered.
Of course not. No one pays Gibraltar. He's got the biggest hitbox.
And then he just like stopped there, and then looked at the creators and said like, "Look at that! No one in the audience cheered for Gibraltar."
Gibraltar. There it is.
And that's just like something that's like.
It's sad, man. You got characters, play them.
If your characters like are horrible, I feel like you should go out of your way
to make them better. Like they did that with Mirage. They just updated Mirage, and now he's one of the best characters in the game. People are picking him again. I think you need to be able to rework all of your characters to put them on a level playing field. You want people to play the characters that you created.
Yeah, like a cool addition to Gibraltar would be like if you could actually use his shield abilities like remotely. Like you could just activate it, like set like a mine kind of something. And you can walk away and just activate the barriers and completely throw someone off. I think that would be pretty interesting.
My thing is,
Because
maybe I just don't see the practicality in it.
I feel like his character is way too what you say self-centered. I feel like it's a solo play kind of character.
I think it's a team play kind of character.
I feel it's more solo play than team.
Actually, probably.
Yeah, because like most of his abilities can only be used within a certain limited range.
And how often are you right on top of your teammates?
Exactly. And if you like set up like a safe zone where your team knows where you set up that zone, it's like activate the barrier. You activate the barrier.
Yeah, like in front of a cave. Yeah, like if you're fighting and everyone's that would be actually an interesting concept because what you could do, right, is then partner him with Bangalore, because then you could have her throw down her smoke while you're running through like a cave, or not a cave, but like a passageway. Yeah, like a thin passageway. And as you're running away, you can have the shield there waiting, and like you can just have the smoke, have the shield waiting, drop the Bangalore ult so all the missiles come down, and then pop the shield, and now you've got these players stuck, and you either can come into our circle that you didn't know that was set up already. But then the question then becomes, why didn't you just throw down, like, you're just going to throw it down anyway. It kind of works that same thing.
Yeah, but another element that can also add to the Gibraltar shield is like enemies can't go through it.
No, but then it becomes overpowered.
No, it's like it would be nice for a great escape, but it also could be like as a trap. So like if you activate it correctly, you trap the enemy within the orb.
I get it. It's still overpowered.
It is overpowered.
That's the problem. You don't want overpowered. You want
a controlled balance where
you want it balanced.
It makes people want to play him, but not too overpowered where people are getting mad because of the ridiculousness of his power.
Yeah, like there's Ubisoft does this great thing. They call it their win delta, and they've got a formula of essentially all of their operators. What's their pick rate? Now, when it gets picked, what's their win percentage? And they use those numbers to figure out how overpowered a character.
Buff someone.
Exactly, because they want, essentially what they want is they want everyone across this bottom line that if they get picked, it's a 50-50 chance of them winning. That's where they want them. Because if it's at 50-50, then that means it all comes down to skill.
Yes.
The skill is what's winning you the game, not the operator. You're using the operator. And so what they want is, obviously some characters are going to be better than others, just instinctively. And some characters you're going to pick and you're going to be better with and stuff like that. So they use like this win delta to kind of figure out who needs to be buffed, who needs to be nerfed, and all of that stuff.
And I feel like that's something Apex Legends should develop into their
I think every game should develop that. Dude, you have all of the analytics in front of you. Use that to your advantage. I think Ubisoft does that really, really well. Take their analytics and use it to their advantage to build out their game and their things like that. I think that's a really good idea. But here's the kicker. What was the last thing we said on there that I think that we said would be really, really cool for Apex Legends to do when they did? Do you remember?
It was a while ago. New maps?
Well, what we said was the problem with Apex Legends is people like me and you are very, very, we are at different skill levels when it comes to Apex Legends.
Yeah.
I am at a much higher skill level than you are because I've been playing first-person shooters for a lot longer.
First-person computer shooters longer than I am.
Yeah. Well, even on console. Like, I've been playing Apex Legends on PlayStation just to kind of get a feel for it. And I'm at a higher level than you are.
Yes.
And that's not a shot at you.
I remember. Now I know exactly.
And what we said was what they should do is they should add a ranked mode so that you can play with people at your same level. And guess what's coming in July?
Yeah, because, one thing that got me down is I can never win a gunfight.
And you never had the you won gunfights.
I could win gunfights, but it was like
every other game we run into
other,
1100 kill player.
Exactly. And it was just like ridiculous. Like, how am I supposed to beat that? It's like he has more time to
master the map and the skills and everything like that, and I want to come in and have fun and play, and I can't because I'm at an unfair advantage. I don't have
the first gunfight I get into, I die.
Yeah, I am not set up for success by this game. I'm not on this. I'm not on a level playing field, and so they added ranked mode to the game. I love it, man. It's got me excited. I'm gonna come back for
Yeah,
season two.
I'm definitely gonna come back for season 2. Probably play some Watson.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have to unlock her.
I'm gonna have to unlock Watson, and I'm gonna have to play her. Because one thing I wanted to ask, her ability where she creates the force field.
It's not a force field. She essentially creates a trophy system.
Trophies. What's that?
So trophy system is essentially a system that like you throw on the ground, and it'll shoot projectiles out of the air. So a great example is like for grenades. A trophy system is like you would attach it to the wall or you would put it on the ground, and if you throw a grenade, an object would come out and shoot at the grenade and get rid of it, like detonate it in a safe manner so that it doesn't go off.
I'm talking about the electrical force field where
Oh,
she
the
sets the
fence.
The fence.
Not force field. That's a different word. It's a fence.
The fence.
Ask your question, sir.
When she creates the fences,
Mm-hmm.
I saw enemies walking through. Did they get stunned? Did they get damaged? Or
No,
is
so
there
if
just a
you
marker?
it's just a marker. That's
Just
how
a
they
marker.
keep it from not being overpowered. You can put these fences up, and if an enemy team if one player of the enemy team walks through, all 3 players get pinged on the team. So you have to be very careful.
Oh, I thought when they said that, I thought they meant
No, the whole team
I
gets
thought they
pinged.
meant that all 3 players in your team get pinged of that person's location.
They do,
That's what I
but
thought.
all
they meant.
3 players get pinged.
That is interesting.
My understanding may be wrong, but I watched it twice. I'm pretty sure I have a good understanding of it.
Yes, that's definitely
And
a
I think
really
her-
great character.
I think her ultimate is incredible.
Where-
Being able to, like, if someone throws a Gibraltar ult or a Bangalore ult, being able to just throw the trophy system down, your ultimate, and just get rid of it because all of those projectiles coming down, gone. It's exciting news.
It is.
It's exciting
It's
news.
like
I'm
a-
excited for Apex. I'm gonna
It's
come back.
Extremely defensive. It's gonna be a huge learning curve for me because I'm not used to any of that. But
Well,
you know,
yeah. Every game has a learning curve. Anything else regarding the EA conference that you wanted to go over?
No.
No, me
Well,
neither.
when does the Apex Legend DLC drop?
July 2nd or 8th? I don't remember. July
2nd.
something. It's like the first week of July.
Oh, so yeah, so essentially around
Like
the
2
same
weeks.
time Spider-Man drops.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So, guys, it's been a long Wednesday, man. 3 episodes today.
Yeah, it's like probably 7 o'clock by the time you're finishing.
Maybe later. I think we went for a bit, man. We went for quite some time. Yeah, we went for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, so like 7:30, 8.
Yeah. Hey, we really appreciate you guys watching it. We hope that you're loving all of the extra content that's happening for E3 week. We're really excited making it. It's tiring and it's challenging having this many podcasts to record. But I think we're enjoying it. I think we're having fun doing it. And
Yeah.
we're excited for more kind of things to, like, more projects and things
What
to
is
handle.
next?
Field time.
Let's see. We had this week. Today we had 3 episodes.
Your favorite is coming next.
Microsoft?
No, your absolute.
Oh.
The one you love more than anything. Your favorite
Oh.
conference.
Yes. The next conference is the computer conference.
The PC gaming
PC
show.
Gaming. The one conference that I did not finish because I fell asleep halfway through it.
PC gaming show.
Well, the first half of it is probably going to be pretty exciting because I'm going to be talking about AMD. But the other half.
No, we won't. I won't let them. That's not about. That wasn't on the PC
it
gaming
was on
show.
PC gaming show.
No, they talked about it very briefly. PC gaming show is going to be something different. We're going to talk about the games, and we can briefly talk about how AMD is a garbage company, and then we can move on.
All right, guys. That's it for today's episode.
Yeah, hey, let us know what you guys. Oh, no, we're not done.
Are we not?
Z, A, B, C, D, F, or Z. What are we giving
Yeah,
EA?
the rating.
The grade.
What do we grade EA Sports? We could either grade it an E or an A.
I hate you. Do you have a grade? Do you need time for me? Do you need me to go first?
You could go first. since
Okay.
I went first last time.
I think overall, because we're not allowed to do pluses, I would love to give it a C plus. This is we don't do pluses because that gives us way too many grades.
Yes, we don't do pluses.
I want to give it a B. I think one, you gave us more information on a Star Wars game. I think the Apex Legends content update was
pretty exciting.
Was compelling. It was exciting. I enjoyed that. I like FIFA. I like Madden, so I had no beef with that. Okay, you do lose some points obviously because of the Battlefield content that I feel like just was meh. The Cataclysm content that I feel was just meh.
Yeah.
The Sims, I can't grade on the Sims because it might be a big deal for people in that Sims community. I don't know. And I think the Haze-like bit of the conference was interesting. So overall, I give it a B because I think they had more positives than they had negatives. They weren't perfect. They weren't anywhere near perfect. But they were pretty good. They were pretty good. Z, F, D, C, B, A, or S. Go.
I will rate EA, not as an E, not as an A, but a B. The reason why I chose a B because I thought it actually like got you engaged on like the games. Like not only the games, like you could actually talk about it even if you aren't interested in it. Like for Madden, FIFA.
They make the trailers compelling enough that you enjoy it no matter what.
I don't enjoy those games, but the trailers were enjoyable. It's like that actually like gets a person not interested in the game because they're like, I might actually like play a game or two just to see how it goes.
Yeah, it gets you in that I'll try that out mentality.
It did the Hazel-like company.
Haze-light
company.
Hazel is a type of nut, I think.
Hazel is also a color, but whatever.
Is it? Yes, it is. Isn't your eyes are hazel?
Yeah, my eyes are hazel. Anyways, Haze-light.
Oh, pretty boy.
Is the teaser trailer company introduction were actually really interesting. Like actually just got you sitting there like, yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
you make some valid points, guys. I enjoy your mentality as a company.
Yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot more positives than there are negatives. Like, okay, the Anthem update and the Battlefield were meh, but other than that, like, what else was there?
Yeah, the only negatives I actually have is stop making sim games. But that's my only negative.
Again, I thought it was enjoyable. And
the episode was enjoyable to talk about, and that right there ultimately boosted up the grade.
Yeah, I had fun this episode. We were able to like go on tangents and still talk about this stuff, and there's stuff there. But let me ask this question: is it enjoyable because EA is a bigger company and there's more to talk about just inherently because it's EA? Because there's more to talk about inherently when it's a Nintendo show, right? So, is that what we ran into here?
No, I felt like just their content of the games in general
were compelling and exciting.
Yeah, compelling and exciting because like
interesting.
They didn't really have that much games to announce.
No, they didn't. It wasn't that big of a
like
conference.
4 new games, which 3 of them were already like old games, which were like
just rehashes.
Yeah, rehashes of the old games. Yeah, FIFA, Sims. Oh no, Sims was the DLC
expansion. So it was 2 games. It was FIFA and Madden, which are just rehashes of whatever.
FIFA, Madden,
and then Star Wars.
Just 3 games.
And even at that point, Star Wars we knew about already.
And then we had like 4 or 5 DLCs and 3 teaser trailers. And
about a company, not even really about the games.
Just about the company itself. And yeah, we found ourselves
entertained.
With a longer episode, entertained.
Have you been entertained?
Gone with more tangents than the other episodes. So it might be awesome because of the time being 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever o'clock it is. But it might actually be that too, but
I don't know.
I just found it overall more enjoyable to talk about.
I think of all of the conferences that we've done up until now, I think EA has been the one that I've enjoyed the most talking about.
Yeah. What were the other conferences that we had?
Because like we've done Square Enix, Bethesda,
Ubisoft,
Devolver Digital and Limited Run, and now EA. So those were all the 5 episodes that we've had, and I think the one that I've enjoyed talking about the most was the EA one. Just because of like Apex, Star Wars, Ubisoft was pretty good. I enjoyed the Ubisoft one. Ubisoft was probably a close second.
Yeah, But overall, EA was probably the more enjoyable ones that we had to talk about.
Yeah, especially I think the Hazelight was the standout thing because it's like this is a new company and it's new,
Exactly.
exciting and it's
And
out there.
the promotional video about their company was pretty fun.
Yeah, fantastic. Guys, let us know what you guys thought. What did you grade EA's conference? I hope you enjoyed
Did you
this
go more
recap.
towards my grade, or did you go more towards Tio's grade, where we both go B? But which grade did you enjoy more?
Remember tomorrow's episode, we're only going to one episode a day again until Saturday.
So Saturday, where we release 2 episodes.
And we're going to have 8 hours between those 2 episodes. So we're going to drop one at 10 and then one at 6. Let us know what you guys thought. I honestly expect the PC gaming show to be really short.
Probably like
there wasn't
30 minutes, maybe.
Maybe, dude.
If
They
we're lucky.
released so much, and so much of it was nothing content.
I might go a lot tangent about AMD,
No,
but
I won't let him do that. AMD's not worth talking about. We're not going to give them free publicity. Hashtag not a sponsor. Yeah, let us know what you guys thought in the comment section below or any of our social media platforms. You will get all of that information in the end card, so stick around for that. Come chat with us. We'd love if you chat with us on any of those platforms. And if you supported us by giving us a like on whatever platform you're on or hitting subscribe on whatever platform you're on. Hey, we love you guys. My name is Tigo.
my name's Sean.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hello, guys. This is Sean from Level 1 Sidekicks speaking. Thanks for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed what you just listened to, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Get out of here. My panda's way better. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Chat with us on Discord. And if you're so inclined, subscribe to the Patreon page.
Hey, my panda's a lot better.
No, it's not. My panda's throwing up. I don't care that your panda's dabbing. It's
Don't know
not
what these two are
convenient.
doing,
This is so much
but
better. Yours is just...
check us out, guys.
Bye.